Dave, so give us your sense. What do you make of this verdict today? $45.2 million in punitive damages.
Wolf, it's a big victory for the plaintiffs who have suffered for so long at the hands of this bloviating windbag. A lot of us were disappointed yesterday in that it was just $4.1 million in compensatory damages. So I was expecting a hammer to come down today in punitives, and it did. 45.2 million. Now, it may be reduced by the statutory cap in Texas, but it's still a victory. And it's not over because there are two more trials just like this where he could also get hit with big time damages. And then there's the possibility that prosecutors could file charges against Alex Jones for perjury. So you got to hand it to this guy. It takes rare talent to turn your civil trial into a criminal one. So his legal problems are not over.
Yeah, I also want to bring in CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson right now. Joey, the judge could actually cap these damages, as Dave just said. Can you explain why and what that potentially could mean for these parents?
Yeah, at the end of the day, Wolf, this is obviously a big deal. I think the jury spoke. They spoke massively. And so the punitive damage award that they assessed really dealt with the issue of how horrific these lies were and how it impacted and affected this particular family. And certainly he has a couple of others to go through. But there's statutory caps, and what that means is that different jurisdictions limit the amount of punitive damages. What they do that for, Wolf, is they do that so it prevents ruinous liability, so that you don't take down any particular company. So while a jury can award 45, 44 million, 100 million, the statutory cap would limit it to a specific amount of damages such that not this particular business, it wasn't aimed for this at all, it was aimed for the business community in general to recognize that people can have relief. However, that relief, notwithstanding the jury's feelings, thoughts, views, and beliefs, and here we know what those views are, it doesn't ruin a particular company. And so that's what it means to have a statutory limitation or cap as it relates to punitive damages.
And Joey, the family attorney accused Jones of hiding his wealth, and he has enormous wealth, by filing for bankruptcy during the course of the trial. Will that allow Jones to avoid paying damages?
I think that justice delayed certainly won't be justice denied. Now, what the law does is you have to come into court, Wolf, with clean hands. And by coming to court with clean hands, it means that you can't dissipate assets or otherwise hide or remove assets in an effort and an attempt to stifle or otherwise misdirect or misappropriate and not allow people to get their money. So while I think that it'll have some effect because the family will be looking where those assets are, they'll be trying to make an assessment and determination as to how they get them, I think that ultimately if the damages would dissipate it in a way that was fraudulent, they would dissipate it in a way that was an attempt to deny relief, that those assets will be gotten. And of course, there's other issues, as David mentioned. The criminal aspect is going to be big here with the Department of Justice, the January 11th. There's so much that emanates from this, much more than money, Wolf.
Dave Aronberg, let me get your thoughts on that as well, the fact that Jones was filing for bankruptcy during the course of the trial.
Something really needs to be done about bankruptcy abuse in this country. He's not the first one to do it and won't be the last. There are things called fraudulent conveyances, attempts to hide your money. There is evidence that he started to take away $11,000 a day from his companies to hide it after he got hit with the default judgment. And so something needs to be done about it. And I agree with Joey. Justice will be delayed here, but it will not be denied. I think that eventually the plaintiffs will get their money. And again, there are more plaintiffs lined up in the near future to sue him and get a big recovery.
Well, on that point, Joey, this is the first of, 3 trials for damages against Jones. What could future trials potentially yield?
I think they'll yield more relief for the families, if you could call it relief. You know, when you lose a young one who is so instrumental, I mean, it is your life, it's life itself. Any parent would give their life for their child. And when you have these conspiracy theories that are out there, that it's fake, it's a hoax, the parents are actors, etc., I couldn't even imagine, none of us could, how it impacts a family emotionally and otherwise, right? I'm sure they're just deeply depressed about this, and you have him out there spewing this hatred. And so I think there'll be accountability in those other trials, and that accountability will look much like it did here, with a jury coming back for compensatory damages, which are designed to compensate people for out-of-pocket losses, and then punitive damages, which are designed to punish, to send a message that this is just not something you should be doing, and it will certainly slow him down. And not only that, Wolf, but deter others who might spew such hatred and such negativity and such falsehoods about someone, which impairs reputation and just is so emotionally suffering.
Yeah, good point. Joey Jackson, thanks very much. Dave Aronberg, thanks to you as well.